Hi there, my name is Tracy. This is the 3-Wick Thesis Candle channel, and today I have for you another episode of my Wax Melt Wednesday series. And I have an unboxing I'm going to do of 2 Scentsy Halloween wax warmers, plus I threw in one of their, I think it's like got grout hexagon stone. I've heard there's potential with the grout warmers to really throw and provide strength, so I threw that one in the cart. I'm going to talk to you about the difference between my Tealight warmer, lamps, Crocks. This is the one some of y'all have been asking for a while. You're going to want to stay tuned. Okay, so the way I see this video going down is that I will have an unboxing. I'll unbox these for us, and then I will also test them out. So I'm going to test them, all 3 of them, in the same spots. I'm going to do open concept, and I'm also going to do in my bedroom. One at a time. Same scent, same wax, so that we know it's not the wax, it's not the space, it's the warmer. And I'll tell you which one of these does the best. Now, 2 of these are seasonal. Obviously, I wouldn't have them in my house all of the time, but if you're looking to get one of the Halloween warmers, they are available. Also, speaking of picking up anything Scentsy, I am currently hosting a Scentsy party. It's digital. I'll put the link below. That way you can shop that particular party, is what they call it. And then my party Scentsy consultant is Charity, or the Charity Rose channel. So she benefits, and then I get kickbacks if you buy stuff. I get, like, you know, extra money towards buying my own Scentsy product as a host. So if you want any of this stuff, you can shop my link. But by all means, if you have your own Scentsy consultant and you want to support them, I support that. Go with what makes you comfortable. Okay, the first one I pulled out is the Golden Oak, and this is the hexagon one. Now, my bathroom is like all hexagon. The tile in the shower is hexagon. I have a hexagon clock. It's just like, you know, it was a trend 5-6 years ago when I did my remodel, and I went with it. We put hexagons everywhere in there. Okay, first thing, I'm not one to read dimensions and descriptions. That's just not how I roll. As a result, this is much smaller than I thought it was going to be. Somehow I envisioned like just a huge warmer, which honestly is okay because this I'm intending this to be a bathroom warmer. I want this to go in my bathroom space, and this is perfect for my counter. It's not too large. But if I was just looking at the picture and knowing what I know about their other warmers, I was expecting this to be more the size of like a standard Hurricane. So this is pretty tiny. I mean, it's the size of my hand, basically. This one comes with just a standard switch, on off. Just twist it, turn it on, twist it, turn it off. It is plug-in. It is a bulb. Now, in my very limited experience, I just want to put that out there. I am by no means an expert in the wax community. I'm actually going to link a video below. I can't remember her name. I'm sorry. She had a good Scentsy warmer video that she did. Actually, Terry over at Terry's Smell Good Finds recommended that video to me. Terry's also a Scentsy consultant, and that woman knows way more than I do about warmers. For me, all I know is that my element warmer doesn't perform as well as my bulb ones. My bulb ones tend to do better, so Scentsy does send you a bulb, and they tend to get hotter, which means they throw the scent better. So you just put the little bulb in there, and then it's going to come with a tray, which is in a separate box in here. This one is a really pretty, kind of an amber color. And then you put your wax in here, and this just sits on top of the bulb. And this is really close to the light bulb. So if you see, it's close. Now, I have had good experience with the glass trays. I have heard that actually glazed ceramic is usually better for most people. For me, my glazed ceramic has not been performing. I had the poo warmer, that's an element warmer, that does okay for the bedroom space, but honestly, it's not that strong. And then I had the Remy burner, which is glazed ceramic with a light bulb. The problem with that one is that it is so far from the bulb that I don't think the tray gets hot enough to really throw the scent. I'm actually going to be selling that one on Mercari or eBay because it's useless. Like, it's cute. It's adorable. I love it. But I'm not having any luck even with my like beast powerhouse waxes. Right? Coconut caramel apple wax from Goose Creek is the most powerful wax melt I've ever put in any warmer, and I couldn't get much smell out of it at all with the Remy. So for me, the glass trays have been doing better. That's what my Himalayan salt one is. It's a glass tray right next to the bulb. And then Terry over at Terry Smell Good Finds told me that the grout often helps. So we'll see. Like I said, this is pretty tiny. I don't know if it's going to beast out like the Himalayan salt is, and I don't think it's a fair comparison because it's so much smaller. But we will try it. Again, I think that's going to be perfect for my bathroom space, so in that way, it works out. Okay, let me get this cleaned up, and I'll get the next one out of the box. Okay, next one I pulled out is Haunting Horizon. This is one of the Halloween ones. This one caught my eye because it looks so beautiful in the pictures when it's lit. I love anything Halloween. I love anything that feels like spooky forest. Give that to me. This one is larger than the other one, which this was kind of more what I was expecting, I think, with the hexagon one in terms of size. This is the bulb here. Comes really well wrapped. Luckily, the insert here is wrapped in cardboard to help protect it. I'm going to go ahead and just cut that tape, otherwise we'll be here all day with me trying to untape something. Oh wow. Yeah, that warms my heart just looking at it. Let me show you before I put it back inside of the little tree. So it's iridescent, blue and green, but at the top, which I don't know if you're going to be able to capture, the top is actually turns purple. I'm not seeing it pick that up on the camera, but the very lip of it is purple. Got a kitty cat over here with some bats. And then that slides into this tree. Well, it should. Not an easy feat. Okay. And then this one has the same sort of switch. On, off. No timers on these, which y'all, again, I'm new to the wax world. I don't know what you're supposed to do or if there's even rules about this. I leave mine on pretty much as long as I'm awake. If I'm on, if I'm here, it's on. So like this one behind me, I actually bought a hue switch. I can control it with my phone. I turn it on whenever I'm here. If I leave the house, I turn it off. I just hit the button on my Hue app, turn that thing off. So I run mine all the time. Even if I'm burning candles, like right now I've got a citrus candle burning over here, and in the warmer it is more of like a lush beach nights, you know, body care vibe going on, a little bit perfumey. I don't care. I like how those things smell together even though they don't work. Like, so I always just have my warmer going, especially when I film too. So I think that's super cute. Plug that in. This one also is bulb. This one's a little bit deeper. The bulb isn't going to get quite as close to where you're melting your wax. I should have mentioned too, the smaller one with the hexagon, that one's a 20 watt, which I think for my bathroom, which is where I plan to use it, that's okay. In a larger space, I wouldn't want less than 25. And honestly, I just ordered a 40 watt from Kringle because it's like, no, I need to smell it in my open concept. And I think this one's a 25. I'm pretty sure this one's a 25 watt. Let's see. Yeah, this one's a 25. So maybe not a fair comparison. It's larger. It's going to have a stronger bulb. That usually means it gets hotter and can throw the scent better. Although not always. Okay, so there's the bulb in there. Let's get our tray out for this one. This one's just a clear glass tray. And then just like the other one, it sits right in the top. Okay, so that is the Halloween tree one. 25 water. Always makes me nervous with all that glass rustling around. Okay, the next one that I got is the Darkly Devoted. This one is like Frankenstein and his bride, and it's unique because when it's cold, you cannot see the picture of Frankenstein and his bride, but when it's warm, they show up, which I think is a fun feature. This one has a little top that you put over the wax. It kind of looks like aged cement. However, it is ceramic and it's glossed on the inside, which again, I am under the impression is good for heat and making the scent throw a little bit more. The tray on this one is ceramic and also glossy, so this will be a good comparison. Oh, look at, there's a little spider. Oh, that's adorable. And then this looks cracked, but that's the design. That's how it's supposed to look. So cracked, aged cement. That's really fun. Put that down there. Okay. And then here is the base, the bulb. And this one is also 25. Yeah, this one's also 25 watt. So that'll make it apples to apples with the other Halloween one. They're both 25. They're both bulb, but one is going to be glazed ceramic. The other is going to be glass tray. Same switch as well, on off. And I'm going to be able to show you here what this looks like cold, but I'll cut in some footage of what it looks like warm, because on one of these it's going to be Frankenstein, the other one it's going to be the bride. So with this, the tray goes right here, and then you put your wax in, and then you put the top on. So it kind of looks like an urn. Very Halloween vibe to me. A little bit spooky. I love it. I love it so much. Now, I know some of y'all don't like dark things, and that's okay. I get that. For me, I love dark stuff. I love Halloween. It lets me play and imagine without having to live out real dark world stuff. So I enjoy it. But if it's not your vibe, just know that Scentsy does sell other 25 watt ceramic and 25 watt glass trays if you want to pick up something else. And also you can filter by wattage when you are looking at warmers. So keep that in mind as well. Now they do have a deal where if you buy a warmer and 6 of the wax melts, you get a 10% discount. So I did toss 6 wax melts into the cart. Not going to talk about those today because I want our focus to be on warmers and lamps and Crocks. All right, so those are Scentsy warmers, and I am going to be comparing the Scentsy warmer to this particular one I got at Walmart. I don't remember what the wattage is on this one. It doesn't say on the box, so I'm going to have to look on the plug. This is a Halloween one that I've been seeing other creators posting. Amy over at Fragrance Finds. I can't remember the first name of your channel, Amy. I'm sorry. Low over at Low Inspired Living. Both of them hauled this, and I was like, I need that. Got on the Walmart website. I had it shipped because shipping was cheaper, but then someone delivered it. So I don't know. That's just happens sometimes, I guess. This one is also plug-in. Also ceramic. It is super close to the bulb, so you can see how close the bulb is going to be to the tray. And where you put the wax is glazed. Now just looking at this and cleaning with cotton balls, I'm already annoyed at the lip on this because the wax is going to get up and under this lip, and that is going to be a huge pain to clean up. And it's got like indents. There's indents there. Yeah, I don't know how to ever clean this properly. Can't have it all, I guess. So this little guy, it's just his top. Put the wax in there. Perfect Halloween decoration. Same type of switch, on, off. And there's nothing in here about wattage. See if it's on this insert that came in the box. Yeah, it's 25 watt. It says in the insert. So this is going to be comparable to the larger ones. And specifically most comparable to the Frankenstein one, because that one is also glazed ceramic with a bulb. So I will let you all know this one was significantly cheaper than Scentsy. I mean, Scentsy, you're paying for the brand name. You're paying for it being, you know, through a consultant, not through a retail store. It's a smaller company. Walmart's going to be able to get stuff super cheap. I don't know about quality on that one, but like I said, we'll find out. Now, the other warmer I picked up recently is a Tealight warmer. I got this off Amazon, which honestly, the quality on this, y'all, I'm going to show you a picture because I'm actually, or a video. I'm actually using it right now. The quality on this is, it's not good. The glaze is thin, so it actually looks more gray than it does black. You can just tell it's cheaply made, but it was cheap, so whatever. And it's a Cauldron, it's Halloween, it feels fun. Now this one is, you put the Tealight in, also glazed ceramic. I'm getting okay strength and throw from this one. I would put it on par with my Element warmer, the Pooh Bear. It's not great, and honestly, I feel like I'm wasting Tealights by using it, so I probably won't keep this one, or I'll donate it when I'm done with the Halloween season. I just don't think it's necessarily worth having around. It's not a powerful one, and I did end up getting rid of my glass tray Tealight warmer, so I don't have that to share with you. I got rid of it because I think it was actually vaporizing too much. It was giving off white vapor, which I've read online is okay, but it was setting off all my air purifiers because I'm using the same Tealights on this Cauldron one and I'm not having the same problem. So I think it was the warmer. And I don't want something in my house lit that's setting off my air purifiers. That's telling me it's probably not good for my lungs. So I got rid of that one. It worked though. It threw really well. It was powerful. Okay, so I want to spend just a little bit of time talking about the difference between a warmer, a crock, and a lamp. Maybe even the different types of warmers, crocks and lamps, and then some pluses and minuses. Again, this is my very limited experience. I've only been buying wax melts now for, what? It's probably been 4 months, maybe 5 months. I've been buying wax melts. Definitely not as long as I've been buying candles. I am new to the world of warmers. I am really experimenting along with all y'all who are also just starting out. And if anybody out there who is an expert and wants to weigh in, by all means, please share your experience in the comments below. So with warmers, I feel like the benefit is they're always there. You can have them on 24 hours a day if you want. Like my Pooh Element warmer in my bedroom, it's never off. I literally just leave it on all the time. It's on when I leave the house. It's on when I go to sleep. It's on when I'm burning candles. It's always on. It's not a massive thrower. It doesn't get super hot. It doesn't have a light, which is another reason I like some of the Element warmers, is that if you want to warm like a bedroom space while you sleep, you want to wake up and smell fragrance, it's not going to keep you awake glowing. So that's a plus with some of the Element warmers. They don't necessarily glow. Some of them I think do, but not all do. The downside of the Element is that I don't feel like in my limited experience that it has done quite as good of a job of getting hot and throwing. I know that's not true. I know some elements can throw really well, but in my experience, they haven't performed as well in my house. Another benefit is that I feel like these are safer than, say, lit candles. If you have kids around or pets around, they're safer for me than wall plugs. So wallflowers, for example, give you the same energy. You can emit fragrance in your house. You can have them going 24/7. You don't have to have them, turned off when you go to work. They have ones that you can, shift the range of how much scent you want released. They have ones that light and don't. Kind of similar to the wax melters. The distinction for me is that diffusers go into a wall and they're at cat level. They're at toddler level. I don't have kids, so I don't care about that. But if you have toddlers around, they're at kid play level. I don't want my cat rubbing up against the oils. Those oils can be toxic to cats. I don't want, someone coming over and bumping it and spilling oil all over the place. I don't want what happened to me where I accidentally dropped the bulb of oil and it spilled all over the place. Like, I don't want that in my house. So for me, these are better than, say, a wall diffuser. They're safer. I also like that you can switch your wax out really easily, whereas with a wall diffuser, it's very difficult to kind of fumble through, taking it out of the wall, putting a new one in. You can't just easily switch it out. So warmers offer you more opportunity to switch out the scent. I feel like it's a safer option. I feel like I never worry about having my warmers going. I would compare it to any other appliance I have in my house. It's, it's there. It's like a lamp. it's lit, or it's like an element warmer and it's on. In the same way that my alarm clock, right? If I had a plug in to the wall, I don't have one of those anymore, but it's plugged in all the time and has light. So for me, these are nice for that, but the downside is I've really struggled with getting one that feels like it's really projecting the scent. And I know from watching other people's content that people who get into wax warmers have a lot. They'll have, 6 or 8 in an open concept space, and that's great, but I don't have that kind of space. Like, I have an open concept, but I'm trying to figure out where am I going to put 8 warmers, plus 4 or 5 candles at the same time, and still have decor and animals and have surfaces for me to put my drink on, right? Like, it's just, I'm not there. I don't know that I ever will be. I love the idea of having a space with 8 warmers and being able to put like a whole bar in a room and really smell it. But for me, I'm more of an ambiance wax warmer, and that results in not getting a room full of whatever you put in the melters. So the downside for me is that these, even the strongest ones I've bought, aren't as potent as having candles lit in the space. Good throwing candles, I should say. So that's kind of the plus and minus of the warmers. Now, if you don't want to buy these warmers, you don't want to have them sitting out on your counters and have 8 of them, or have, to mess with wattage and element versus lamp versus whatever, you have a couple of other options. One of those options is a crock. Now, a crock for me is strictly used as a space to either get every single bit of fragrance out of a candle that I possibly can. So once I've gotten to the bottom and I still have that layer of wax that can't be lit anymore, I'll stick it in the crock if I really liked the scent. That's one option. The other option, which by the way, a crock will completely melt whatever you put in it. So if you have a candle in a jar, you put it in there, the whole thing will melt. I'll actually show you footage because right now I have Vanilla Noir in there. Literally the whole candle. It'll melt everything. If you get a single wick jar or an old 3-wick jar and you put vendor wax in there, it'll melt that and fill the space. I will say mine is not very strong. I got my crock from Boscov's, or Boscove. I don't know how y'all say it. It's a new to me retailer. They, last time I looked, did not have it in stock anymore, but I think it gets replenished. So check out their webpage. Frequently you might see it there. But it's nice for leftovers. It's nice for if you have a low throw candle like Vanilla Noir. It was lower strength. I also was having issues. That's one that I broke flying home. The one and only candle I lost. I rejarred it. Had serious issues rejarring it. Even with freezing the wax, it would not fit into 2 different jars. And finally I said, just forget it. I'll put it in the crock and we'll do it that way. So it's good for troublesome candles. It's good for candles that have issues with strength and throw. Again, it's not going to fill, your entire house with the scent, but it's definitely going to give you a sense of that particular candle unlit in the space. And then one of the benefits of the crock is that it is contained. So one, it just looks like decor, although warmers out there on the market right now are all pretty ugly, in my opinion. So it can look like decor, but the other nice thing is I'm not going to bump this, say, in comparison to a bottom-up warmer, which the jar with all the liquefied wax is just there for you to knock over. It's there for a cat to rub into. It's there for a child to bump. It's there for anybody to destroy and have a waxident. So I actually did get rid of my bottom-up warmer when I bought my crock. I bought my crock shortly after I did my Tools of the Trade video, which I'll link below in case you're interested in that. I'll also pop a card up here for you. And I was new to the crock. Decided I'd rather have it enclosed than have it open with the bottom-up warmer. So I did get rid of my bottom-up warmer and just have the crock now. So benefits are that you can still get life out of troublesome candles. I think the downside is that in terms of decor, it can be kind of ugly. It also still doesn't provide the strength of a lit candle, in my opinion. But the candles I have put in there will last for about a week before they start to smell weird. And then you just take it out. The other downside is it's clunky. It's hard to get a candle in and out. You have to wait for it to solidify to pull it out of there. It's a little bit tricky to drop it down in. Sometimes you slip and it doesn't break, but you have that moment where like, I dropped it, right? So it's a little bit hard to finagle. Some crocks are wider. Some crocks are shorter. There's a whole variety of Crocks available. Take your pick. Try one out. Now that is very different from lamping. Lamping, in my experience, is better for troublesome candles, and in particular, troublesome single wicks do well under the lamp. So if you have a single wick that's tunneling, but you still want to burn it, I'll stick it under the lamp. It'll slough off the wall. I can light it, and it's good until it starts to tunnel again, basically. It is good for the end of the jar, same way that a crock is. If you've got a little bit left in the bottom, you love that scent, you don't ever want to get rid of it, but it's your last one, lamp it. You'll get more fragrance out of there. I did try using it as a vendor wax melter. So taking an old 3-wick jar, put some vendor wax in, lit it up. It didn't work the best for that. I feel like it struggled to melt that wax. It struggled to emit the scent. It could have been the vendor. I was using Rose Girls, so I don't know. It could be the vendor that doesn't do well under the lamp. It could just be that lamping isn't best for wax melts. Again, I'm new to this. I'm learning right along with y'all. If you have experience with lamping vendor wax, please share it with us below. Another thing I use my lamps for, like right now, I have, actually it's under the lamp literally as we speak. Maybe I'll show you footage of that here. It is good for, I've got a candle right now that smells burnt. It's literally smelling like burnt plastic. It's gross. So I'm going to lamp it. Does that make the scent different? Is it the flaming wick that's creating that burn smell, or is it the actual wax? And if it's the wax pool, I'll lamp it and pour out that burnt smelling wax and try relighting it again. So anything I can do to try to save this candle that is stinking. If I lamp it and that smell doesn't exist at all, well, then that becomes lamp designated only. And on that note, I do want to highlight, you don't want to get into the habit of lamp burn, lamp burn, lamp burn. Now, I know some of my fellow burners, you do practice this, and that's okay for you in your home. For me, when I lamp it, the wicks wiggle, they move around, they are displaced, and that can create fire hazards. So I don't like to lamp burn, lamp burn, lamp burn. Usually once I have lamped something, I'm either going to pour out all the wax because it stinks and is burnt, trim the wick and start fresh with the solidified wax, or it will be designated only as a lamp candle. Now, I know some people like to lamp until the fragrance is gone and then they burn to get rid of the wax. For me, I just cotton ball that wax out of there or I pour it out in the trash because I don't like the risk of wicks that have moved and have been under the lamp. That's just a personal preference, and I have read online that it's not safe to do both, so I'm just not going to take that sort of risk. Now with lamps, there's a whole world out there. You can buy ones with timers, you can buy ones that are adjustable. Mine has a timer and is adjustable. Some of them are really low quality, some of them are okay. Mine is okay right now. You can get ones that are adjustable, so mine doesn't adjust high enough, for example, for like a Kringle large jar. I'd have to put that in a crock. I did have one before that did adjust to a Kringle large jar, but that one blew out a fuse in my house literally within 3 months of owning it. It's trial and error, y'all. I haven't found one that I really love. I haven't found one that felt like the best quality. I found one that works. It does what I want it to do, and that's where I'm leaving it. So I haven't expanded my lamps and buying more lamps because for me, if I had to choose between a lamp and a warmer or a lamp and a crock, I'm going to go with the crock for the troublesome stuff. Unless it's like a quick fix, then I'm going to use the lamp, and I'm going to use my warmers 24/7 because it just doesn't feel as annoying as a lamp with a timer or a lamp that emits a lot of light, or there's just other issues with lamps that I would prefer the warmer in my house. Although for candles, obviously the lamp is going to work better. At the end of the day, I wouldn't be without any one of these tools in my arsenal. I feel like each one has its place, and there's no real, in my opinion, real rules around like which ones you use when and how and why. Do what works for you. Buy a crock, try it out. Do you like the way it feels in your space? Do you like the way that it functions to preserve duddy candles or end-of-life candles? If you like that version, go with it. If you would prefer a candle lamp, do that instead. If you want both, do that, right? Like there's no real rules here. It's really about what works for you in your space with what you're using and what you have on hand. And for me, I want all three, right? I want to crock bedroom candles because I can't seem to burn them because they don't blend with anything, and I like to blend my candles. I want my wax warmers going all the time because I love vendor wax. I love how I can explore more scents and more scent combos and the creative work of the people who own these companies. I want warmers in my house for that reason. I want a lamp in my house to deal with dudding out single wicks or stinky burning 3 wicks that I want to try to fix. For me, I wouldn't be without any one of these tools, but you know, you may feel different. You may say, I really only want one. And if that's the case, you've got to decide, do you want something that you can function with in the candle world, or do you want something just for wax? And even then, with wax warmers, you can scoop out your candle wax and put them in there. So really, there's endless possibilities for how you use these tools. It's really up to you, your home, your space, and what works and what feels right to you. So my word of advice is to explore. Try some stuff out, see what you like, see what works for you, and just have fun learning the trade in the same way that I'm kind of figuring it out and having a lot of fun doing it. Okay, I'm going to cut here and go plug in these warmers and start my testing of which one works best in which space. I will be right back after the cut to share those findings with you and wrap up this video for us. All right, y'all, I'm back to share with you my findings on how these warmers performed in different spaces of my home. I had all the warmers in the same spot for consistency purposes. I also used the same scent, which was the Key Lime Cake Pop from Goose Creek. I used that because I know that one is a powerhouse and I wanted to be able to test it equally and know how these were going to perform. In the bedroom space, the top dog was the Walmart warmer, believe it or not. It was the best performer in that space. Second, and it was a very close second, like almost indistinguishable, and which I would opt for because the pumpkin one, as you'll recall from the earlier footage, has weird ridges on the inside, which is making it difficult to clean out. So second place, which is the one I would lean towards, is the Halloween one with the kind of like purple and blue vibes with the black wraparound with the cat and the owl. And that one did almost as well as the Walmart. I mean, like super close, almost indistinguishable. And I would opt for that one, even though it's more expensive. One, because I think it's better decor, but two, because it's easier to clean. And that is important to me. That means something to me. In third place, and pretty far behind second place, is the Frankenstein's Bride. And in last place, and pretty far behind that in the space, is the new fall hexagon one. And that one, you couldn't get a sense of that in that space at all. Like you couldn't smell it. So I would not buy that one for a bedroom. I did designate that one to my bathroom. I didn't even test it in the open concept because I knew if I couldn't smell it in the bedroom, I definitely wasn't going to be able to smell it out here. And even in my bathroom, it is very, very light, to the point where I'm contemplating returning it. It's so light. I thought maybe it was an issue of I put 2 cubes in and maybe I should have only put 1 because it is smaller. So I tried it with 1 cube. That made no difference. My next mental gymnastics to try to get it to work is Scentsy does say their warmers are meant for Scentsy wax. And so I thought, okay, I will try it with Scentsy wax next and see how it does. And if it doesn't perform with Scentsy wax, I will be returning that warmer. What I'm finding is the tray just isn't getting hot. So the 20-watt bulb that's in there, despite the fact that it's really close to the tray, I think the tray is too thick. The glass tray is too thick. I can touch the bottom of the tray with my hand and it barely feels hot. The wax melt isn't even melting all the way, which to me is problematic. So there are some issues with that one. I would not recommend buying it, and I probably will end up returning it. Now the other two, the Frankenstein and Frankenstein Bride, and the kind of woodsy purple blue one that I have that are both Halloween Scentsy, I'm going to keep those namely for decor, but also because the black wraparound one performed well. Frankenstein with Frankenstein's Bride did not perform as well as I would like. I would designate that to a bedroom space and it would work. However, I don't usually decorate my bedroom for Halloween, so I will put it down here with other decor and it will look good. I don't know how much it will perform. I think personally, one where I sit is good. I'll probably continue to keep one in the kitchen, and these are all going to be just Halloween decor that I bring out every year and enjoy them for how they look, not necessarily because I expect them to really throw in terms of wax. Wanted to cut in here real quick and highlight a few more things. I'm one day post-edit and I was kind of churning and I was like, oh, I forgot to say that. And plus I got my Kringle wax melter here, so I want to talk about that as well. Two things I want to add about lamp crock warmers. First, just in terms of the lamp, one of the benefits of a lamp is if you have a low performing candle, i.e. low strength, and you're struggling to smell it in the room, lamps are really good at amplifying the scent. If you turn it higher up, so if you get one that's adjustable, you turn it way up, it can get real loud in terms of strength and throw. So I have had candles where I'm just like, I really can't get anything out of this. Homeworks limoncello cupcake, I'm looking at you. And I'll do a last ditch effort of, okay, let's put it under the lamp and just see how it performs. And 9 times out of 10, I get more from the lamp than I do from burning it. You would think that the crock is the same way, that if you put the candle in the crock, that you'll melt the whole wax pool and so it will be really strong. That has not been my experience. So there's something about the wattage of the lamp being able to be up higher that makes the scent vaporize more and get into the air versus a crock. I have not gotten high strength from my crock. Even from high strength candles, the crock seems to be a little bit lower. By the way, they're on a tear. Forgive me. Forgive them. So I would always choose a lamp over a crock for a low strength performing candle. It's also, I think, a reason to get one that's adjustable in terms of lamping. The other thing I want to highlight, and this is true of all three, of the wax melters, the lamp, and the crock, reduction of soot. And I know for some of y'all that is very important. You don't want soot in your house. You don't want to clean your walls. You don't want stuff on your clothing. Whatever it is, you have a history of soot that has made you not want to light candles anymore. All three of these become alternatives for getting that candle scent into your space, or wax scent into your space without soot, without flame. So in general, they are safer than candles. You're not going to burn your house down with a lamp or a warmer or a crock, barring some, odd exception. And you're not going to have to clean your walls with soot. Now for me, these last two things didn't even cross my mind when I was originally recording, because I am so in love with burning candles. And I do have soot issues. I actually have a steam cleaner, and once a month the hubs and I choose one of our rooms to steam clean the wall and the ceiling. And it's a price I pay. I call it paying the toll. I love my cats, but you know what? I have to clean their stinky box and steam clean it and bleach it. Once a month I got to get in there and really do a deep clean. I have to clean their box every single day. I don't like it. I don't enjoy that part of having cats, but I do it because I love them. In the same way that I wipe this wall down back here once a month because I love my candles. And I give that plant up there a bath. The plant gets sooty too. Give it a little bath in the shower, which plants actually enjoy. So these different electronic warmers, ways of melting wax, don't soot, which is good if that is an issue for you. Okay, I'm sure I still forgot stuff, but I did want to pop in and just add that. And then I also want to show you this warmer. I did not think this would be here in time. I also did not think I would be able to test it in time, but I was able to. This is the wax melter. It's also an oil diffuser that I got from Kringle. And it has cardinals on it. Got it for the hubs because he loves the birdies. This is the copper color. They also have it in, I think, like a silver and maybe a gold. You could choose different colors. I opted for the copper, which none of the colors really went with my decor. I would have liked just a plain black one, but they didn't have that in this particular scene. And then this is kind of like a glittery, I don't know how well it's going to show up. You'll see it in the video. And actually, I'll just go ahead and put that up here. It's kind of like shimmery and shines when the bulb in here is lit, and the bulb is down here. By the way, a very different type of bulb, and I think this must be made in Europe because the instructions have British instructions for English. Here's the box. So it's got British, France, and I think that's German. So I think this is probably made in Europe, which means this is probably a European bulb. Super, super tiny. And they did send a replacement, which is good because I have no idea how to find this. I'm sure I can look it up on Amazon or something. But did send a replacement bulb. It is very tiny, stuck in there. And then this has, and my wax is still just a little bit damp, so it's the same wax. The lime cake pop from Goose Creek. They also say not to fill it more than halfway, so this is a single cube that I put in here. And then the tray just sits down inside there. This is touch, so you basically just plug this in and then you touch it to light it up. It has 3 different settings, well technically 4. It's off, and then low, medium, and high. I tested this on the highest setting and it performed. It did really well. It did as well, if not better, than the Halloween outdoor scene from Scentsy. And then I also realized that I didn't share the price points with you on these warmers. So this one you can get from the Kringle website, although it is actually made by a company called Peterson Artwares, and it does not ship from Kringle. This took actually quite a bit of time, a couple weeks to get to me, longer than what my candles did that I ordered at the same time. So this one is $60 on the Kringle website. So this one is not the most expensive, but the best performer, especially considering this only had 1 cube in it and it was able to keep up with 2 cubes in the other Scentsy warmers. Also, I love the size of this. It's about the same as the larger size of the Scentsy, not the same as the Frankenstein, but I like the size. It's nice and simple, feels a little bit modern. So that one is $60. The Walmart jack-o'-lantern was $14.92, like super cheap and on par with the most expensive Scentsy one. And then both of the 25-watt Scentsy warmers, so that's the 2 Halloween ones, those are $70 a piece. And the oak one, the golden oak with the hexagon grout, is $55. So in my personal opinion, compared to this, right, the Scentsy one feels overpriced, even though I do think I am willing to pay extra for Halloween decor. Yes, I am. So there's that. But then if you're going for Halloween decor that works almost as well, but is more difficult to clean up, doesn't look as classy, let's get real. The pumpkin is cute, but it's not on par with the 2 from Scentsy. $15 is really cheap. I also have another warmer coming from Sassy Girl. She sells warmers as well. I've heard good things about those, so I wanted to try hers. Those are $15, but I literally just ordered that yesterday in a pre-order, so it will be a bit before it gets here. So wide variety of prices, wide variety of performance, different sizes, different seasons. This one's definitely more of a year-round. And again, play. Try things out, do what works for you, do what works for your budget, and if you don't want to do wax melts at all, there's lamps, there's Crocks, or keep it OG and just go with a candle. You have that option too. All right, y'all, I'm now going to cut to the conclusion. So I would say use your own personal judgment, try them out if you think you would like them. If you like them as decor and you want just a little bit of scent in the room, I think that's fine. For me, candles are still where it's at. It's where I get the most strength and throw from a scent. And I'm going to continue to burn even when these things are lit. Like last night I had them all going with key lime cake pop, and then I was burning cosmic cupcakes from Country Candle. I had limoncello from Bath & Body Works going, and then I had the Halloween Kirkland's lemon candle, which is basically unscented. So I was complementing it with candles that I thought would pair nicely with the wax that I was melting. So I'm going to do a combination of both. But for me, my true love, where I believe I can get the most strength and throw, is still from candles. Let me know if you have any questions about these warmers or any questions about warmer versus crock versus lamp. I'm more than happy to entertain them. Also, I know I forgot stuff because I didn't make a list. I didn't do PowerPoint slides. I'm sure I forgot pluses and minuses of all of these different tools. So if you want to add that to the list in the comments below, by all means, share that as well. We are here to learn from one another, and I just love building community with y'all. Thank you so much for spending your time here with me today. If you enjoyed this video, on your way out, give me a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed, share my content, and I will see you in my next review. Take care. Bye-bye.